Hello YouTube. So, I just watched the newest Marvel movie, Captain America: Brave New World, in theaters. Before hearing the reviews, I was pretty optimistic, and I knew it wouldn't be like Winter Soldier, but I hoped it would be a Marvel movie that could stand on its own and be pretty well remembered. Then I saw the reviews.
Out of the theater seeing Captain America: Brave New World, and this is a very mid-Marvel movie.
The movie is enjoyable, but it is far from great.
Captain America: Brave New World was a massive letdown and a big disappointment.
I think the best reaction I could give, one true and honest to you guys and how I felt in the theater, would probably have to be
And let's just say people were not happy after watching it. And that honestly made me pretty sad. But I told myself I'm gonna go in with the exact same mindset I had before, while keeping in mind what others were saying about it. And well, they kind of had a point. So in this video, I'll be breaking down the good, the bad, and the downright ugly, and giving my final rating of the movie. But before we get into it, spoiler warning for Captain America: Brave New World if you haven't seen it yet. Click off the video now, but be sure to watch and come back because it is definitely worth a watch. But with that being said, let's dive in. Starting off, I think the Red Hulk versus Captain America fight was both good and bad. I'd say it's one of the better fights in this movie because unlike a lot of the other action scenes, this one didn't consistently cut between multiple sequences. Many of the other fights, the constant scene switching made it extremely hard to follow and understand what was going on at all. At some point, I just thought Sam Wilson teleported to the next enemy. But here, I could actually see and understand everything pretty clearly. Now, for the bad part about this fight, once I saw Red Hulk CGI, it kind of took me out of the fight. When he was smashing stuff and flinging shit in the air, he looked great, and I thought it was super cool. And I think this is one of the better scenes of Hulk, especially with the new Bruce Banner. But the moments he was just standing there, not really doing anything, compared to the rest of them, he looked completely off and kind of just sucked. Next, I want to talk about the dynamic between Sam Wilson's Captain America and Joaquin's Falcon. Together, I gotta say, they're a pretty good duo. They feel like good friends just trying to figure out a case. But when they're apart, holy shit, they're so boring. Let's just start off with the man himself, the brand new Captain America, Sam Wilson. And with what almost everybody says about this movie, which I agree with, he is not a good main character. He just doesn't have that same charisma as guys like Tony Stark, Peter Parker, or the man who gave him the shield, Steve Rogers. For most of the movie, he's really monotone, so in moments where you're supposed to feel hyped, he doesn't bring that boom. Now, Joaquin as Falcon, yeah, no, he sucks by himself. I would have much rather seen Bucky and Captain America together than what we got from him in this movie. He basically does nothing. Sure, he kind of figured out who Abomination was and took down a few missiles, but then he almost died to one of the missiles. Really, the only time where I can kind of tolerate him or kind of like him is when he's with Sam. Because when he's there, he kind of brings out his goofiness so that it kind of balances out Sam's serious side. But altogether, I would much rather not see him at all. Now, the biggest problem I have with this movie is that you have to do your research before watching. Now, initially, that's not a problem for me. I don't mind taking the time to either watch movies or research whatever I'm going into. Like how you have to watch most of the Marvel movies to understand Infinity War, or you have to watch Infinity War to understand Endgame. That's not a problem for me. The problem for me is that they choose two movies that aren't that particularly popular or aren't movies that I would like to rewatch. The first movie is The Incredible Hulk. The reason why you have to watch The Incredible Hulk is for Abomination, the main villain in that movie. because that's the same villain they're going against in this movie, which in the end makes this an Incredible Hulk sequel with almost no Hulk. That's what blows my mind. You choose a movie that is meant for Captain America, and then you put Incredible Hulk with almost no Hulk. That is what that blows my mind. And then the second movie, which I haven't even watched yet because I heard it was hot garbage, The Eternals. The only reason why you have to watch Eternals, the only reason, is for the Celestial. The Celestial has a stone called adamantium, and the only thing I know about adamantium is that Wolverine's claws are made out of that. But again, that's the only thing. And you have to watch that movie to understand Captain America. I feel like I'd be wasting my time if I decided to watch those two movies just to understand a pretty mediocre movie. Now, this is going to be the last thing I'm going to be talking about, but with Captain America, Brave New World, it's definitely going to be one of the more forgettable movies years to come in Marvel's catalog. It doesn't do anything horribly wrong, but it also doesn't do anything remarkable. There's no standout moment, no major emotional payoff, and nothing that'll make me look back and say, I love that movie, or I love this part of the movie. I think it's just going to be another mediocre MCU film blending in with the rest of them. In general, this movie is just okay. Yes, there were some good moments, like the opening fight in Mexico and the Red Hulk vs. Captain America fight. But aside from that, it really dragged. I went into this movie with a pretty positive mindset, even after hearing all the negativity surrounding it. I was hoping the critics were wrong, but after watching it, they unfortunately proved me right. So, for my final score, I'm giving Captain America Brave New World a 5.5 out of 10. Now, there's another movie coming out this year, and I think it's going to be a pretty
fantastic.
Say that again?
fantastic one. So stay tuned for that when it drops. But other than that, thanks for watching. Come like and subscribe because all of this is free of charge. And noches.